It's time to stop just plugging in the principled hair BSDF node. You can actually get a much more realistic hair material. Enter the curves info node. If you haven't heard of this node, it allows you to access a lot more data about the hair curves you're using or the particles. And when using this in conjunction with the principled hair BSDF node, you can get a lot more realistic results by creating a mix of colors. So let's look at how we can use that. So first things first, if you want to create a realistic hair material, you are going to need the principled hair BSDF node. We'll go ahead, snap that in there, and you can see already we have a lot more realistic results. What you may not know is that with the curves info node, we can actually access a lot more information about all this hair strands we have. Now this system right here has a curve system from geometry nodes, but it also has a particle system. So this works on both. So let's go ahead and look at what this information is telling us. I'm going to go ahead and preview this information here. And you can see here that if I plug in the intercept, that I am getting a color gradation from the base of the hair to the tip of the hair. And if I go ahead and use the random node here, you can see that I am getting random black and white color variations per hair strand. And with these two nodes, we can create a lot of interest and realism in our hair. So let's look at how we can do that. Let's go ahead, plug this BSDF node in here. I'm going to go ahead and move this curves info node over. Now, first things first, with this character, I want to create more of a rough hair look, something that looks a bit more frizzy. So I'm going to adjust the settings here before I begin tweaking other values. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn this roughness up to 0.75. I'm going to go ahead and turn my radial roughness up to 0.5. And you can see here that it's already starting to look a lot more frizzy. But randomness is kind of the key to getting realistic hair. So we're going to go ahead, turn the random roughness up to 1 there. And you can see that now we're starting to get a lot more variation. Perfect. Now let's look at how we can go about using this curves info node to really drive home kind of the realism of our hair. So first, what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to drag this intercept value. And remember, this is the base of the root to the tip of the root. And I'm going to go ahead and add a color ramp here and plug that into the factor. Now, if I go ahead and shift click there, you can see that now we can go ahead and control the distance of that color all along the hair curves, which gives us a lot of power. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, duplicate this curves node, and then we're going to drag this one random here into another color, and we're going to plug this into a factor as well. Great. Now what we're going to do is take a look at how this one is working. We're going to go ahead, switch this one to constant because we're going to want each hair to be its own color. And then what we can do is just add a few color stops here. So I'm going to go ahead, grab this color by hitting Control C, grab this color ramp here, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug that into there. Now, if I move this up, you can see how it's starting to insert random hair colors all throughout our character here. Now, the thing is, I want this character to be predominantly red, but however, if you are familiar with how human hair works, we oftentimes have 3 to 4 colors within our hair. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple color variations in here. So I'm going to just add a few stops there, and I'm going to bump all of these up because I want this to be predominantly red. So by clumping them all up here and putting red here, we're saying that we want just a few hairs to kind of be an alternate color. Then what I'm going to do is grab these and just kind of shift these along the hue ever so slightly. You can make this as extreme as you want. So I'm going to go ahead, maybe make a few just a tiny bit more orange, and then maybe just a few a little bit darker. So I recommend keeping within this kind of small hue range of whatever your primary color is, and that will allow you to get a more realistic result. Perfect. Now what we want to do is combine the color data here in between these two nodes so that we can plug it into here. Now what we're going to be using is this right here to drive the darkness to lightness in the tip of our hair. So typically your hair will be a bit darker at the root and get a bit lighter as it grows out and loses its melatonin. So let's go ahead here and we're going to go ahead and drag this one here. And we're going to look for a hue, saturation, and value. And we're going to go ahead and plug that into the color. Great. So now what we can do is take a look at this and we can adjust the settings here. So essentially what we're going to be doing is plugging our color into the color value straight, which will give us our actual color value. But for the base, we're going to go ahead and use this node to darken it. So however you want to darken it is how much you'll set here. What I'm going to do is offset the hue by just a few. So I'm going to set 0.475. Then I'm going to set the value by 0.5. And what that's going to do is kind of darken us and give us a bit more cooler colors for the base of our hair. Perfect. Now what we want to do is go ahead and use this as a mix factor. So we're going to add a mix node. and we're going to switch this to color. And then what we're going to do is drag this up here. We want this value here for the base of our root to be in the A. And that's because the black will drive the A value when we plug it into the factor. And then we're going to go ahead, take this color, plug it over there in B. I'm just going to go ahead and chop that and move that down there so that it's a bit more organized. And I'm going to go ahead here, grab that into the factor, chop that, make that a bit more organized. Perfect. And now what we're doing is we're getting a mixture between these two. But you can see that predominantly it seems to be our base color kind of taking over. So we're actually going to grab this white here and shift this up. And this will depend on the length of your hair and the effect you're going for. But I want mine to be predominantly the main color. Perfect. Now, if we go ahead and we grab this material output here, and plug our principal hair BSDF node in there, you can see our before result. And then if we go ahead here and click there, you can see our after result. Now you'll notice that we're not getting much more color, and that's kind of due to the coat here. So if we go ahead and press 0.75 there, you can see that now a lot more of that color is coming through and we're getting a more realistic result. Now you can go ahead here and you can play with these colors to get a more kind of dominant effect depending on what you want to do. Now, if you're interested in how I went about making this hair, go ahead and check out this tutorial, which I will link here at the end of the video. And thank you for watching.